Hey you all, Farmer Jesse here. Gonna start a new series on this YouTube channel that is gonna be dedicated to the beginning grower. That would be anybody who's looking to get into the wind business, who's looking to get into vegetable growing professionally, to make money on it, to actually make a living on it. This series is gonna go through all of the really practical stuff involved. I should say I do not have a monopoly on all the good ideas or all the good advice, so if you are a farmer or a grower, please put your input in the comments and answer people's questions. If you have a question, if you would like us to do a specific video, put that in the comments too. Let's try and aggregate as many ideas and answer as many questions as we can. Also, feel free, if you're another YouTuber, do you just like making videos or you're interested in making videos, to answer some of these questions yourself and put it up as a beginning grower video. We'll kind of try and put playlists together so that if you're a young grower looking to get into this business, this will be a resource that you can use for free that will help you. Today I thought I would run through about 5 things that I think are really important when it comes to getting into vegetable farming. And really not even 5 things, 5 steps. The first 5 steps you should take. So let's do it. So everybody may have different steps. So if you have a step that you would include, feel free to put it in the comments. If you have any questions about what I'm about to talk about, put that in the comments too, and maybe we'll do videos about those individually as we go forward. Also, these aren't gonna replace my no-till market garden videos. We're still gonna do those, we're just gonna do these also. Step 1, get your hands dirty. Go out and garden. Go out and get a job on a farm, get an internship on a farm, get an apprenticeship, woof for a little while. Get your hands dirty and make sure that you like farming. Obviously, farming is really romantic, this idea of growing your own food and maybe being sustainable or self-reliant. All that is well and good, but if you do not like being out in the sun or you just really don't like the work, it's not gonna be fun for you. I recommend an internship. If the best you can do given your situation, your budget, those sorts of things, is work on the weekends at a farmer's place, that's great too. That totally works. Or maybe it's just starting your own little garden. Maybe you have a yard, maybe you have, a 1/10 of an acre you can use. Start on that. Just start in little plots. Start getting your hands dirty. Start gardening. Step 2 can be done concurrently, can be done at the same time as step 1 and step 4. All of the different steps can kind of be done together. Step 2 is not find your land. Step 2 is find your capital. You're gonna need startup capital if you wanna start a farm. Now, if you just wanna work on farms and you wanna be a farmhand or you wanna do something in agriculture, that's fine too. But if you actually want to start a farm, finding some amount of capital is gonna be essential. Now, you don't have to have that capital. You just have to think about it. Start thinking about it as early on as possible. How am I going to raise the money? Am I going to maybe get some land from some family that'll let me borrow it? That's one thing that Hannah and I did as startup capital, is that our family allowed us to use land for free for a couple years before we had to pay for it. That's capital. That's huge. That allows you to bootstrap other elements of your farm because you have a place to farm. Can you get loans? You may not be able to. You need down payments and stuff to get loans for land, equipment, that sort of stuff. You can get some of that through the FSA. They do like you to have some farming experience. So just start thinking about capital. You don't necessarily have to get it and locate it all. Maybe you'll have to work a second job for a little while. Maybe you'll just have to work one on the weekends, or maybe the farm will be on the weekends while you get, your other bills in line. Step 3, like I said, all these can be kind of done at the same time or together. Education. You're gonna need some amount of education, especially in the first year. I think you're probably gonna need to budget for about $2,000 in education your first year. I'm talking about now, like your first year of thinking about farming. Think about dedicating $2,000 just to education alone. Education can be a number of different things. It can be books, and it should be books. You should get the New Organic Grower. In fact, go to Chelsea Green, pick up any of the books that they have in there, any of the Elliot Coleman, all those books. Ugh, with the wind. It's so windy, Wendell Bear. Use the checkout code NOTILL, all caps, one word, that at Chelsea Green, and you'll get a 35% discount. That is great. So they have lots of good agricultural books. Go check that out. Also, check out these master classes. The 2 that I've seen inside of are the lettuce masterclass from Ray Tyler's really brilliant. I've learned how to grow summer lettuce from Ray, and it is a huge crop for us, hundreds of dollars a week on lettuce. So check out his masterclass and use our link in the show notes, and that kicks a few bucks back to us and to no-till growers so that we can keep growing the podcast and those sorts of things. Also, I've seen inside of Connor Crickmore's Never Sink. Awesome farm course. This thing is ridiculous. It's got so many different things going on. We will have a link for that in the show notes as well. Use that to sign up for Connor's course if you want to take it, and that also kicks money back to our show. There are also other courses that I haven't seen inside that I know are great. Jean-Martin Fortier, he has a really amazing farm and farm course. I heard nothing but great things. Look for the style that fits you. You know, Ben Hartman has one, very lean farmer. Richard Perkins, Charles Dowding, a lot of people are doing these farm courses. Look for the one that suits your style, what you're interested in. I should also say, consider getting a consultation, especially once you have property. Hire somebody. Hire somebody to come and look at your property. Oh, my hay's here. Awesome. And that happened. But anyway, find somebody who farms like you do to perhaps come to your farm and teach you how to farm, teach you how to set up your farm, where to set up your gardens, what to think about, how to do your irrigation, all of those things. That is money that is so well spent on a consultant, on somebody to actually sit with you under your context and tell you exactly what you need, or at least give you an idea of how to figure out what you need. The next thing you need to think about, making your budget, your family budget, your whole budget, everything, figuring out exactly how much money you need to make, how much money you need to save, how much money you need for in case of emergencies, all of that. Figure out exactly what you need, because your budget will largely shape how you farm. If you don't have a big budget, say you're maybe on the latter half of your career, you've got good savings, you just need a little bit of money to kind of get by month to month. That's great. That's great. That will determine how hard you have to farm, what kind of farm you have to have. You know, if you have a mortgage, if you don't have a mortgage, if you can maybe make a little less money and work a little less but still be involved in agriculture, that's an option too for people who maybe don't have a mortgage, don't intend to buy land or something. So think about that. Think about what your budget is. If you do plan to get land, put your pretend mortgage in there. Just think about that. How much money you need now, how much money you're gonna need. Do 1 to 5 years. That is huge. Lastly, last step. Look up holistic management with Alan Savory and do your holistic goals. This is actually kind of a two-part step because that's part of it. This is just sort of laying out what you ultimately want from your farm and from your life and just those sorts of things in general. And I'm not going to get too deep into that here. There are lots of videos on that. There's a lot of information on how to do your holistic goals. What I will say is that it really helps you to look at what you're doing and what you're working towards and to set goals to achieve that. I think that's wildly important. The other thing I will say add to this step is also just kind of do that, outline your business. You don't have to necessarily make a business plan before you have land and you're like really ready to go and start asking for money or getting loans and really gathering that capital, but an outline of what your business is, how you're gonna make money in agriculture. You don't have to like money, you don't have to really want to be rich or anything like that. You're not gonna be rich being a farmer, but what you do need money to farm. I can't emphasize that enough. We didn't care about money enough in the beginning years, and it took us a long time to realize it's hard to farm without money. It's hard to do the things we want, to build the permaculture structures, plant the orchards, to buy anything. I mean, you need money to farm. So you have to figure out a way that you're gonna make that money. So anyway, add your steps below. Any thoughts you have or questions you have or video ideas you'd like me to cover, feel free to comment below. I love that. Comments help, and it also helps boost this so that we can help other farmers. Comments, like the video if you like the video. Also make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell. That way when a new video comes out, you'll get the notice. Like I said, I'm not stopping the no-till market garden videos. Those are also gonna be in here. So you can kind of get both ends. You can do both at the same time. You can start thinking about becoming a farmer and learning about farming simultaneously. That is a big part of the educational part. Other than that, you all have a great week. Got a big podcast coming out on Monday, every Monday for a while. Also make sure to check out the Patreon page, patreon.com/farmerjesse. Go there, sign up. That will help us afford a second season of the podcast. For those of you who don't know, the podcast comes out of our kind of family budget, so it's expensive. It's not cheap. So just, if you want to help out, that'd be awesome. Go check that out. Patreon.com/farmerjesse. If you don't like Patreon, that's fine too. You can Venmo us a donation. We're at no-till growers. That's ampersand no-till growers. Or, PayPal or whatever you like. That's fine. If you want to donate to the show, to No-Till Growers, to the podcast, to these videos, I'm sure you'll find a way. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye. What is it? Some rotten buckwheat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
I just
What do I...